Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing great. So today I'm doing a very special video of how I got my job in the UK. I usually do my videos in Malayalam, but I thought I should do this one in English because I would be able to reach out to a wider range of audience, especially international students in the UK. So let me make one thing very clear. This is my very personal journey. I'm not here to say that this is the right path to follow in your job hunt process, or this is a guide to get a job in the UK. No, I'm not going to say that. We all have different ambitions, different goals, situations, and circumstances. So, you know what is best for you considering all your situations. So, please follow your own path. But I'm here to share my journey so that if some of you could relate to it, I'll be very happy. I'll share the mistakes I made, the lessons I learned, different things that I tried. So basically, I tried a lot of things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. So I'll share all of it with you. Before getting on to the journey, I'll give you a quick introduction about myself. I work as an integration technology analyst in London. I came to the UK to do my master's in engineering management, and I completed my degree in 2024. Once I completed my master's, I started applying for jobs. And this was not at all a very easy journey. It was extremely difficult. I'm being honest because I never knew how hard it is to get a job in the UK as an international student before coming to the UK, or even after coming to the UK, like while doing my master's, I never knew it is this hard. If you're somebody who's currently doing your degree, I would suggest you all to start looking for a job. That is something which I didn't do, which is my first mistake. I should have started my job hunt a way more earlier, but it is completely fine because I was not sitting idle. I was working part time. I was studying. I was busy with my coursework and everything. So I thought, okay, I have time. Let me just complete my degree. Let me just enjoy this time, and after this, I'll look for a job. The very first day, I still remember I applied for like 20, 25 jobs in a day. So I made a nice CV. I thought it is ATS friendly and everything. So first of all, if you don't know what is ATS, let me explain to you guys. So ATS is kind of a software that many companies use. So a person wouldn't be manually reading your CV. Instead, a software would filter out the CV based on certain keywords. So if your CV have those keywords, then your CV would be selected. But if it is not there, then you would get an automatic rejection email. But the sad part is many companies here in the UK, they do ATS. Even if you're skilled, even if you're capable enough, you might get thousands of rejection emails because of this ATS thing. I used to get automatic rejection emails the very next day. So every day I wake up seeing these rejection emails. So unfortunately, you're rejected. Unfortunately, you're rejected. It was just making me very sad. This continued for a couple of weeks. And all this while I was thinking, what is wrong? What is wrong with me? My CV was not very ATS friendly. I was watching a lot of videos how to crack this ATS, what to do. Then I had like two family friends who are working in the UK, and they really helped me out, giving me suggestions and all that. So I again rewrote my CV. After a few weeks, I got a interview call. I don't remember what the job role was, but it was a very good one, and I attended the interview. But unfortunately, I was not able to crack the interview. Applying for job itself is like a full-time job. Okay, something that I did good was I was only working part-time. So after completing your masters, if you want, you can do overtime shifts. Like you can make your part-time job into a full-time job. You can do a lot of additional shifts and all that. I was working in Asta. So I was doing a 10-hour shift, and by the time I reach home, I'm tired and I wouldn't be able to apply for jobs again. The first important decision I made was I only did my part time job as a part time job. I did not make it as a full time job. So, again, my situation wouldn't be the same as yours. So, I'm not going to say that this is the right thing. I'm just saying it worked for me. Okay. One of the right thing that I did to myself, one of the kindest thing I did to myself was I was only working part time, and so that the other days I'll get time to apply for jobs. So imagine if I'm working like every single day, and once I get back home, I wouldn't have all the energy to apply for jobs. I'll just be eating and sleeping. That's it. I wouldn't get any energy. Even if you're going for like a 6 hour shift, for an extremely tedious job, then once you come back home, you wouldn't have the energy. And some people, they'll have to travel a lot for their part-time job and everything, but for me, gladly, I didn't have to travel a lot. I was living right next to where I work. But still, since I was doing long shifts, I was getting really tired. So I made sure that I do not work excessively, because this is just a temporary thing for me. This is just my bread and butter. I need it to survive, but I don't need it for my entire life. That is one of the important decisions that I made. It really worked for me. So I was getting a lot of time to focus on my job hunt. Okay. Initially, I was applying for jobs uh, related to management, because I did engineering management. I could apply for managerial roles as well, like project manager, supply chain manager, or like accounting and finance, like financial analyst kind of roles. So these are some kind of roles which I don't have prior experience at. So I was getting rejections because of that. So I thought, okay, I should change the kind of jobs I'm looking for. One thing that I strongly believe is, you know, if you are applying for a job, you must be really interested in working on it. It is not just like you're applying for everything random that you see. I have like a wide variety of interests, but it was very hard for me to find my sweet spot. I came across this word in LinkedIn. So there were somebody who posted about this, was saying, like, you need to identify your sweet spot. Sweet spot in the sense, the things you're capable of, like your skill sets and whatever you're good at, and whatever you're really interested in. So all these combined together would be a sweet spot. I have experience, like work experience in India. I worked for a year in Tata Consultancy Services as an application support engineer. And then I was thinking, uh, why not? I should focus on IT. I should focus on IT because I am interested in tech, but it's just that I need to find out something very interesting for me. I was not very much into finding, like, a job which is related to application support. But still, I applied for some support roles because I was thinking it's too hard. Okay, then maybe because at least I have an experience in support engineering, maybe I should apply for an application support analyst role. And so if I get into it, from there I can maybe look for another job role that really interests me. I need to list out some websites that would help you. First thing that helped me the most is LinkedIn, because most of the interview calls that I got was through LinkedIn. Then Indeed helped me a little. Then Handshake is a very good app for graduates. And you have like something called Grad Cracker. You can see a wide range of graduate roles in Grad Cracker, which is also really good. And I was able to access Grad Cracker and Handshake, or one of these. I don't remember which one, but one of these I was able to access through my university email ID. And soon I lost access to it. So I wasn't able to make use of it fully. First thing you should make sure while applying for jobs is that you're applying for jobs which are posted very recently. It is really good if you can apply for the ones that are posted like almost an hour ago or 2 hours ago. Great. Or even like a day before is fine. But if you're applying for jobs like more than a week ago or a month and all, I don't think there is a point in applying, because there would be hundreds of candidates already applied for it. um, yeah, but still you can apply. There's nothing wrong in applying, but the chances would be very low. I was making this mistake of applying for roles which are almost outdated. Yeah, that is one mistake I made. That was a very bad mistake. And I used to make track of the jobs that I apply. So I maintain an Excel sheet where with different columns, I add the job role, the company name, the salary, whatever, anything important, and the current status applied. Then if they call for an interview, I would change it to like interview, or if it's an assessment done, then I would mark it as an assessment done. This would sometimes make you feel sad, but it is also good to keep track of your progress. Okay, so this would really help you to know the kind of roles that you're being called for. For me, quality is more important. So if you're applying for a job, make sure your CV is really aligned with the requirements and everything. And then I came across this job role of an integration technology analyst. So it's like, wow, this sounds something interesting. And I then read more about what integration is. And it really interested me. Like many different integration platforms. And I was thinking, okay, this is something I should really try in May. Okay, so I started in Feb and it's May. In May, I got the call. That was like a very informal interview. That was done, and then I did not get any call for almost a month. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm not selected. Then it was June, and I went home to India, like for a break. I went home for 3 weeks, and those 3 weeks I never applied for any job. Okay, I was almost like I lost touch for it. So I went to India. I enjoyed with my family. I was having a great time. And once when I was in India, I got an interview call for a senior support specialist role. And I was like, bro, this is too difficult, but still I would apply, like I would just go for it. And I attended the interview. They just asked me a lot of difficult questions, and I never knew the answers for most of them because I never had experience that much. Like I was only having like a 1 year experience, and the kind of questions they asked was like for 5 plus years of experience. In July, I got another interview call. That is the second stage interview call for the integration technology analyst role. That was an analytical interview, and that was a very good interview. I was really able to do well, and I got a feeling maybe I'll crack this. I waited again for another month until I got the third round interview. And the third round was a technical round wherein I had to write two programs in Python. Again, it went on really well. I was asked many technical questions and I was able to do well. So third round cleared. After almost a month and a half, I got called for the final round. For this particular job role, totally I had like 5 rounds of interviews: informal interview, analytical round, technical round, and then the final round consisting of 2 rounds: a case study presentation and a CEO interview. The final interview call just really made me so happy, because every time I crack these interviews, I was getting the confidence that maybe this is for me, because the job role really, really interested me and I was working on it very hard. Okay. For the final round, I need to prepare a presentation on one of the integration platform, which is MuleSoft. Our case study was to develop an architecture in MuleSoft. I got 2 days to prepare for this presentation. And those 2 days, I worked extremely hard. I researched a lot about what MuleSoft is. I studied about it from scratch. And I slept very less that night. I remember I was like, one whole day I was preparing, I was researching about MuleSoft. And the very next day, evening, I started preparing the presentation and I completed it. And I practiced a couple of times. And finally, I cracked that case study presentation. And the CEO round, again, it went extremely good. I really enjoyed that interview. And I got a call back from the company saying I am selected for this job role. It took me like almost like 10 months in whole, because I got the first interview in May and I got like confirmation in December or something. Yeah. So it was like a very long journey. If there is something that interests you, go for it. But if you don't feel like, okay, you apply for it and you get the job, and what if you don't really like it? Would you be able to do well? No. So you should be having the skill sets. You should also be having the interest for it, right? It is very important that we focus on ourselves, we focus on what we really need. Technology is like a very wide field. You'll have like many different options. If you don't like one particular technology, there would be many other technologies which might interest you. So you need to explore. So first thing that I really would like to tell from my experience to international students or graduates, anybody, is that, explore different things. I never knew much about integration until I saw this job role. And when I saw this, I explored more about it. It really interested me. And that is how I knew this is the one for me. And I really prepared hard for it. See whatever is the new emerging technologies, whatever is coming up, uh, read about it, like listen to podcasts or whatever, like anything related to the upcoming technologies, and see if it interests you. There would be something really best for you. So if you're not interested in something that doesn't make you any less capable, you might be far beyond like good at something else, so go for that. That is what matters the most. This whole process, just don't focus on applying for jobs, making your CV ATS friendly, like, or don't just focus on that. Take this time to uh, upgrade your skill sets. I started learning one of the AWS basic certification, I think the cloud practitioner certification. So in your CV, like, you can mention all your certifications and everything. So I mentioned about the AWS certification that I'm currently learning it. And I was asked many questions related to AWS, because I mentioned it on my CV, and I was able to answer it because I was learning it. And in the midway, I stopped learning about it because after a point, I did not feel much into it. So I stopped it. When I was working in TCS, I was working on Unix and SQL. I took some courses related to SQL, Unix, and all that, and I just brushed up my learnings. Then I also did some Python courses for Python programming. I used to write codes and all that and brush up my programming skills. Make sure that you also polish your transferable skills. So if you're not really confident enough to speak, work on it, because communication is really important. And when I say this, I don't mean accent or pronunciation. I mean to say, whatever you're communicating to the other person should be clear. Don't be insecure about your accent or pronunciation or the way you speak English. Be confident. You are more than capable of what you already know. So be confident. It's just that what you need is the right attitude and the confidence. Throughout my journey, what I understood was, uh, smart work is more important than hard work, and your CV should be really good. And when you're mentioning your experiences, make sure that you add metrics, you add like action verbs and everything. So I'm not the best person to talk about CVs. There are many people out there who would explain it to you in the best possible way. So watch different videos on how to tailor your CV and all that to make it ATS friendly. It's like a lot of people just focus on the CV thing, but that's not the only thing to focus on. Like, you might crack the ATS, but once you crack the ATS, you'll have to face people, okay? People who interview you. So you need to have the right attitude, you need to be confident, you should be able to communicate well, and you should upskill yourself based on the job role that you're looking for. If you just search for that job role in LinkedIn, you'll see multiple job advertisements, and look for the job description. They would already be specifying the skill sets they need. Take one or two initially and just start preparing on it rather than being desperate and saying, oh, I'm not getting the job. um, be positive and take this time to make yourself ready for what you really want. You need to have that mindset, the curiosity to learn. And there are many platforms nowadays, like, where you can make use of it. Learn something, and nothing you learn goes waste, okay? So whatever you studied, it would be of some help someday. Just make sure that you're kind to yourself. Don't regret many things. Okay, whatever, you would make mistakes in this journey. I've made a lot of mistakes. I learned from it. There were days when I used to go really down, like I used to feel so bad. If you really feel like you're not getting it, just take a break, relax, rejuvenate, then come back to this. And another thing, once you get the job, it doesn't mean you got it all. Again, you need to struggle a lot to understand a lot of things. You would have imposter syndrome initially. So you would feel like, oh, I don't know many things. And it's okay. That is perfectly fine. And it's normal to feel that way. So if you ask somebody who is with like 5 6 years of experience, of course, they would have their own struggles. Similarly, you as a fresher would have your own struggles. So that's it. I'm working on myself every time. I hope this video, maybe some of you would find it helpful or some of you might find it relatable. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll come up with a new video soon. So till then, ta-da!